As some of you had suggested, I thought of suggesting a book to my audience today. It's not just because I'm focusing on language and communication skills. I just thought of reviewing this book from my perception and also of suggesting this book to you because it's very important. It gave me a lot of motivation. Now, a lot of people do book reviews these days. There are book tubers also these days on the internet. But I would like to introduce this book not because it is quite famous or not because so many people have talked about it already, but simply because of the fact it gave me some motivation and some energy when I was not feeling all right, when I went through very tough times, I should say the toughest times of my life. So I thought of suggesting this from my perception and how it helped me and why it's really very important. And the book is this one. I hope you can see it. I will, of course, show, there's the picture of the book on the side of the screen. Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. It's a very famous book. It's available on Amazon, and I will leave the link to the book beneath in the description box. You can purchase it. There are different versions to this book. That is, the second part of the book is also out in the market, but I purchased this and it's really wonderful. So let me begin with the cover page of this book. You can see that it's gray in color, okay, gray and white, and there's a bird which is so colorful amidst that background. So when your life is gray, dull, black, dreary, there will be a tinge of color in your life that could help you forever and that could help you to find the purpose and meaning in life. So you must be wondering, why should I listen to this video? Because I already have a purpose and meaning in life. If you've already got and found a purpose and meaning in life, you just have to make it more meaningful and more purposeful by watching this video. Now, about the book, I'm not promoting this book, but this is something which helped me, okay? Now, as you know, people have already talked about the structure and the language, and many people suggest books because of the fact that it has got good language, or maybe because it helped them in some way, or maybe it's just because it's famous. But I am doing it out of my experience, and I feel that experience really matters when we share something with the audience. Now, of course, it is divided into two parts, and the author is actually a professor of psychiatry and neurology. And first, when I went through the book review posted by other people, I thought it's simply going to be torture, hardships, tribulations, because the author talks about his experience in the Nazi concentration camp. And I really thought it's full of brutality and torture. And already I was going through the toughest times of my life, so maybe it's going to hurt me more reading on somebody else's trials. But it was not like that. It really consoled, and also it gave me a lot of comfort, okay? Life in the concentration camp was terrible for this author. And imagine a period in your life where everything is taken from you. No profession, no status, not even proper clothes to wear, no food, and everything is gone in a day where you're just a number for the authorities and the wardens. And this author, he goes on to talk about his experience. Of course, there are hardships, but still, after every narration or after every episode, there is some energy that is vibrated and that is transferred to the readers. So he talks about instances where he should wait for a long period of time, do work, and collect a packet of soup, which was like a bonus, or a morsel of bread, and he will store it in his pocket and then have it after a few days when he's really hungry. It's not that he was satisfied every day with the happenings of whatever was happening in the concentration camp, but he also faced a lot of emotional, physical, mental hardships. But in spite of all that, how did he find purpose and meaning in life? That's very important. Now, I'll just read out a few lines that help me, okay? So the first line is, having a why to live enables a person to bear the how. That is, if you really find the reason for why you're living on this planet, then definitely you will have an answer to how you're going to live. So first question that you need to ask yourself is, why are you living on this planet? Immediately after that, you will identify how you're going to do it. The same thing applies to language as well. When you're enrolling for a course, when you start taking training sessions from a person, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Is it because English is a fashion? Even if it's English or Sanskrit or German, whatever it is, why do I have to do it? Is it out of fashion or is it out of passion? That is what I always tell my learners. The second thing is, okay, fine, this is the reason you identify, and after that, why should I do it? And then how am I going to do it? Because it differs from person to person. Now, in the concentration camp, there were a lot of prisoners who just wanted to end their life. Today you see some people, and tomorrow the author goes to the extent of saying that today I was able to have soup and food with one of my friends. Tomorrow I'm not sure whether I'm going to meet this person, because every day they identify people who are weak physically and they are just transported to the gas chamber and burnt there. Okay, so it's like they will call people and then they will take them line by line. They'll be taken, women, men, and they'll be just burned. So there's no certainty, there's no period, there's no space for your life. It's like you live today, tomorrow we don't know whether you live or whether you're going to die or whether you're going to face another hardship. And the wardens and the authorities were so rude to these people. There were a few people who were quite friendly, but still in the beginning part of his hardships and his life, actually through his experience, he started finding meaning and purpose in life. That is what I understood from this book. So that was the first line. Okay, find the reason and then you need to figure out how you're going to do it. Then of course there are some lines, there's one beautiful line. To draw an analogy, that is to draw a similarity, a man's suffering is similar to the behavior of gas. A man's suffering is similar to the behavior of gas. How? If a certain quantity of gas is pumped into an empty chamber, it will fill the chamber completely and evenly, no matter how big the chamber is. Thus, suffering completely fills the human soul and conscious mind, no matter whether the suffering is great or little. Therefore, the size of human suffering is absolutely relative. So it doesn't leave anyone. It's just like the gas. You open it, you allow it to come into you. It will fill the health, the conscious mind, the soul, and every part of your body, of your life evenly. It's evenly distributed. And then he goes on to explain and elaborate how he found purpose amidst that. So he's connecting his tribulation with the gas chamber, and that was his fear. Tomorrow, am I going to be transported to the gas chamber and are they going to put an end to my life? That was his fear. And the minute he decided to face the fear with confidence, that is when he was able to record these things. And there are instances where he writes like, I was able to write down a few points on rags, on pieces of loose paper, all those things that he was able to find in the concentration camp. He used to write down certain points and certain experience so that he won't forget. So you can see that he has got this hope of living sometime. Like you write something on the rags, on the paper with the hope that you will live after some time. Maybe that small hope allowed him to treat every day as a new day. Maybe that's what I feel. Okay. And, he says that people are so particular about preserving oneself. We save a lot of money. We go on to save ourselves. And also we are just bothered about our security, and people are so selfish these days also. So he goes on to talk about self-preservation. Do not be so conspicuous. Do not be overconscious. Of course, you have to be careful about your security, but still, some people go to the extent of just bothering and only being concerned about one's security, and they're not bothered about others. They're so selfish and self-centered. Yes, even when people go through hard times or when people are not feeling well, I have heard people saying it is only because of your karma that you are going through this. See, how can karma be connected with a health problem? right? So all these kind of justifications and nonsensical explanations come about, and it is prevalent in the society. Apart from the moral deformity resulting from the sudden release of mental pressure, there were two other fundamental experiences which threatened to damage the character of the liberated prisoner: bitterness and disillusionment when he returned to his former life. So he's telling that once a prisoner is liberated from the concentration camp, the prisoner is confused because you come back to your family and you're disillusioned for life, and then you have this feeling, why did I come out? And you're not able to relate yourself with anything in life. Sometimes you enjoy freedom to the maximum, you go beyond the limit because you had a lot of restrictions as a prisoner. And when you're set free, you go to the extent of overeating sometimes, drinking a lot, being with friends for a longer time, and crossing a lot of limits. So that itself can lead to problems later. So he goes to the extent of talking about life after imprisonment also, with little bit of details. And the first part, he talks about his experience in the concentration camp, and after that, he talks about logotherapy. Logotherapy is finding meaning and purpose in life. Like we all feel that we are able to strive forward in life only because of trials and tribulations, or to tell it in simple terms, the problems that we face in life, the issues that we face in life helps us to strive forward or takes us forward in life. But he says logotherapy is the methodology, the mechanism by which you strive forward because of the motivation that you get from those struggles. And to put it in simpler terms, it is because you find meaning and purpose. So it's not just the struggles and it's not just the trials, because people say, okay, go through trouble and you will be like, fine, it is fine. It's more of the motivation and the meaning and purpose that you find amidst those sufferings. So he has made it very clear. And finally, you will read that this person comes out of the concentration camp, especially when it was unexpected. Life takes a different turn, and the way he comes out, he doesn't run away from the concentration camp. Of course, he had thoughts of running away several times, but still he thought, okay, I will not run away. I want to find meaning and purpose, and I want to see the end of this. That was his attitude. And you will read how he came out, okay, and how life turned the opportunities for him to come out of the prison and write this book for his readers. This is what I would like to share with you. Find meaning and purpose in life. And I have a lot of people telling me, I want to speak fluent English. Only if you read, only if you listen, only if you practice, you can do that. I keep repeating this every time. And it's not very easy to stay positive, and it's not very easy to find meaning and purpose in life, as everyone says. Only through your experience you can share something. That is what I believe in as a YouTuber. Like through my experience, when I was in the hospital, I read this book. Okay, believe me, I finished it within 3 days, and I found meaning and purpose in the hospitalization. I was able to find meaning in whatever I was doing, in whatever my family was trying to do through those tough times, and it helped me. It's not just because the book is quite famous and it's available on Amazon and I just picked it up. No, it's not that. So it is delivered in simple English, and there are some words that I also learned from the book. So please take time to purchase the book, go through the book. It's a very thin book. You can finish it within a day or two and have your own ways of taking down notes. I have started taking down my notes. I don't just write down quotes and words alone. I write down a lot of things from a book. I'll show you that one day. But still, I just thought of introducing this book to you so that you can also find purpose and meaning amidst your tribulations and tough times. So this is Rini Rose Matthew. Hope this helped you. Bye-bye.